Did this really just happen? First date at a fancy restaurant, and she pulled out a Nintendo Switch? I honestly don't even know how to process this. I need opinions because I feel like I just experienced one of the weirdest first dates ever. Matched with this girl on Tinder, we chatted for a few weeks, and I decided to put in the effort and book a high-end restaurant for our first date. You know, a place with nice ambiance, good food, and an overall classy vibe. I figured it'd be a great way to get to know each other, but from the start, something felt off. First, she shows up 20 minutes late. No text, no, hey, I'm running behind, just walks in like it's totally normal. I try not to let it bother me, but still, a heads up would have been nice. Then, the conversation. Or rather, the lack of one. I tried to break the ice, asked about her day, her hobbies, if she's been to this restaurant before, what dishes looked interesting, but she barely gave me anything to work with. Short answers, no enthusiasm, nothing to keep the conversation flowing. It was awkward, really awkward. But then, this is where it gets truly bizarre. While we're waiting for our food, she pulls out a Nintendo Switch, places it on the table, and starts playing Mario Kart. At a fancy restaurant. I was so caught off guard, I just stared at her for a second, thinking, is this real? Is this happening? Then, as if this was the most normal thing in the world, she gestures toward the second controller and asks if I want to play. What? I mean, I love video games. But this is a date at a nice restaurant. I'm sitting there trying to have a conversation and she's just casually racing down Rainbow Road. I politely declined and just awkwardly sipped my drink while she kept playing. At that point, I wasn't even sure if I was on a date or if I was just watching someone kill time before heading home. Then, when it's time to order, she doesn't even look at the menu. No interest in the specials, no curiosity about the food. Just flatly tells the waiter, I'll have a burger and fries. Look, I love a good burger, but why agree to a fancy restaurant if you're just going to act like you're in a food court? To top it all off, her table manners were not great. Like low effort, borderline gross, complete lack of etiquette. At this point, I was just counting down the minutes until the night was over. I assumed we'd go our separate ways, but then she asks if I want to go on a second date. I was so shocked I almost laughed. Like, how did she think this went well? I respectfully declined, paid the bill, because apparently I was the only one making an effort that night, and left feeling completely confused. So tell me, is this normal? Am I overreacting, or was this date just an absolute train wreck?